What's cracking, cousin? It's your favorite cousin Ken here at the Lighthouse ATL. This is the Divine Feminine headquarters, and yes, this is your favorite cousin Ken from the YouTube channel Can Be the Light. I know many of you are like, Ken, where you been? What's been going on? Well, I took 3 years off from work to work on myself. So no relationship, no job, no business, no nothing. Just strictly working on myself. And I have been guided to come back and help a powerful community of women that are deciding to do the same thing. No longer working hard, releasing all toxicity from your life, and connecting to your true divine feminine identity. I will be here every week, every Monday, with spiritual guidance for you ladies. I'm so excited to work with you, and congratulations to the new you. Hey cousin, what's cracking? It's your favorite cousin Ken here at the Lighthouse ATL. Now, this is a different setup. Y'all let me know how y'all like the video with the audio, if y'all like it better with just the audio, or if you like the video too. I like to do audio because I'm grown, okay? Sometimes I don't have the time to just sit there and watch the screen. I got things going on in my life. I have things that I'm doing around the house. Maybe I'm driving, maybe I'm at the store, maybe I'm doing something, but I just need a little background noise, or I need, to hear something that is good for me, but I don't have the time to sit down and watch it. So that's the reason why I started off doing audio, and I'm still going to do audio, but I was thinking about adding some visual as well. So y'all let me know how y'all like this, okay? This is boom, 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 boom. My new This is my new studio here at the Lighthouse. So as you can see, it's purple, like the Lighthouse colors, okay? When I put this room together, I was like, you know what? This has to be purple. It has to be perfect. And this is beautiful. Look. If it seems like I'm glitching a little bit, I think you need to take your medication. This is a real room. This is not, it's not fake. It's not one of the fake backgrounds or nothing like that. You need to go get your eyes checked and take that glaucoma medicine. Okay. All right, so let's talk. I know I'm silly. I'm just playing. Okay, so let's see what our topic is going to be today. It is one of those little, little backgrounds or whatever. Because I don't want y'all to just look at a white wall. I don't want y'all to do that. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about men's. Let's talk about the men's. I know. These men gonna try to drive us crazy, right? They're gonna try. They're gonna do their very best. At the least, they're gonna do their best to drive us crazy. But guess what? That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna do what we have to do, which means that women, hold my hand. Look, hold my hand. Hold my hand, cousin. Let me put my hand in the camera. Hold my hand. Come on. We're gonna go together, okay? We're going together. Because the only way we're going to be able to move forward and do what we have to do, you're going to need some support, all right? You're going to need some support. That's why I told you, come over to the Lighthouse. I got you, okay? It is very difficult for you to release these relationships and all these things like that when you know that, you've been with this person for a certain amount of time. You know that you have these emotional connections with this person. Y'all have habits and things that y'all do together and all this type of stuff. You're going to have to reprogram your mind, literally. If you are ready to leave a relationship or to let go of a relationship that you're no longer in, because I'm going to tell you something, ladies, just because you're not in the relationship doesn't mean that you're not energetically holding on to the past. That is a blockage, okay? Let's talk about it. A lot of women out here are single. They say that they're single and they want a relationship. They're ready for a new man, new men's. But the truth is, if they're still energetically holding on to the past, what happened to them in their past, they will not be able to move forward. And so a lot of women are attracting men that they don't want. They don't want these men. The men that are coming up to them, they're like, what? You don't have any money? You don't have this. You don't have a vision. You don't have a purpose. You're not spiritually connected. You're not cleansed. You're not healed. You're not holy. You're just, ugh. Look, you're doing this. Ooh. I don't want you. You want to know how you're attracting that type of person? Because you're not the person that you need to be. All right? Now, it's the person that you are, and it's the person that you are becoming. If you start dating while you are in the process of becoming, then you're going to continue to attract people that are in alignment with who you are. Now, when you're on your path, healing yourself, rebuilding, allowing spirit to purge you, cleanse you from the inside out, then you are at a low vibration normally. What spirit does is come in, cleanse you from the inside out, and then your vibration starts to raise as you start to follow your inner guidance, love yourself, setting boundaries for yourself and for others. It ain't just for others, okay? Because you'll hear people talk about setting boundaries with people. That's cool, okay? That's the first gate. But the next gate you got to go through is setting boundaries for yourself. You have to learn how to tell yourself no. You have to learn how to discipline yourself. And spirit will help you with that once you're one-on-one, knee-to-knee with spirit. All right? So that's very important. But if you start dating during this process, baby, you might as well get some Tylenol, Advil, ibuprofen, or whatever it is that you take for a headache out there. Whatever you want to take. Because the men that you attract is going to get on your last nerve. And you're going to think that all men are like that. Just like men too. Let me tell you something. I'm getting ready to bring something to the relationship conversation that has not been said. And that's what a light worker does. A light worker is not out here repeating and regurgitating information that's already been said. We're not passing around information and sharing what we have heard. We are bringing brand new information, because how we elevate the conversation if everybody's repeating and saying the same thing? We're not doing that, all right? So Spirit said, can tag me in, because there's something that a lot of people, most people, dang near all of them, don't know, because they're not saying it. They're not saying it. They're talking about relationships, but they're not saying what is the most important part of the conversation. This is being left out. The reason why we are not coming together is because we are disconnected from spirit. All right? We are disconnected from our creator, from our source. We come into the world this way. All right? We're born into darkness. The Bible says, shaped into the iniquity. All right? So if we come into the world in this state, it means that we are not in alignment with the Most High. We're not. And we are on a path to becoming in alignment with spirit. But the thing is, people want to come down here, parlay and kick it, and turn all the way up, and get in a relationship, and get married, and have children, and all this other thing. That's what they want. All right? That's what they want. But they're spiritually disconnected, because they have too many attachments. When you become spiritually connected to the source, you learn how to detach. You learn the importance of being spiritually isolated so that you can be perfected into the perfect crafted human being that you were created to be. But who can help you to do that? The church, mosque, synagogue, temple, holy book, mama, daddy, friends, family. Who can help you do it? Nobody. What Uncle Keith say? Nobody. Ain't nobody, and I didn't say ain't. Nobody is going to help you to become the person you were created to be, because they don't know. Nobody can bring out the best in you because they don't know. The only way that you could become the greatest version of you is by connecting to the creator that created you. That's it. Other than that, enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Eat, drink, and be merry. Just like in the days of Noah. Kick it. What they used to hit them with the flex, hit them with that hands on your knees while you're on the floor. Excuse me. The ghetto be slipping out. Excuse me. Kick it. All right. Do it. We all have our time. All right. And sidebar. If you have children out there, quit thinking that you're going to make them perfect by giving them everything. Please. They need to kick it too. Mama got to have a life too. Daddy got to have a life too. And them children need to live their life. Let them free to explore life. Because how will they know anything if you're trying to nurture them and protect them from everything? I heard a man say he's very smart, very wise, very intelligent man, okay? And I feel like he's doing a lot of great things for young black boys. He's very smart. But what he said was really alarming, okay? He said on his TikTok that he doesn't want his children to go to public schools, okay? He doesn't want his children to go to school with other children because he doesn't want the other children to influence his children. He said that he has his own school and he feels like he wants to have other children to be a part of his school so that he can teach them the way. All right. So his children were with their mom. The mom said that the children were outside playing with their friends. He said, well, I'm going to have to be in their life too. I'm going to have to start getting them too because I'm going to have to influence them because I don't know what they're learning out here in the world. I got to teach them too. Do you understand how this type of man is going to run himself into a brick wall? Do you understand the amount of pressure that is going to be on a man like this that believes that he has to control the narrative of his children's lives? Every step, he has to make sure that they have a perfect existence free from all of the negativity in life. Did God do that for you? Did your creator give you this perfect example of life and give you all the perfection that is and shield you from everything so that you won't have to feel anything? Did Spirit do that for you? Did Spirit do that for me? No. Did Spirit do that for your mom and your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your friend? No. Because that is not reality. This type of person, and there's a lot of men that think like him. There's a lot of men that think like him. And it's fear. And I get it. Because the world is not a safe place for people who are spiritually disconnected. It really is not. But when you become connected to the source, your children can go to school at Hogwash Pig Valley High School. All right? They can go to school with the worst type of people that you could think of. They can go to Fair East Side High School, okay? But they're going to be okay. Why? Because we have a promise that our children and our children's children's children will inherit the earth. So they're going to be okay. So it doesn't matter where they go. It doesn't matter what they do. If they stumble, they will not fall. But they do need to stumble. Children need to be around other personalities because they need to learn how to deal with other personalities. And there's another guy, what's his name, Tariq Nasheed? Yeah, he was talking about how his children went to school, or his son went to school, and one of the boys was telling him that he was cute or something like that. And his son told the little boy, that's gay. Okay? That's what the boy told him. And so they called him and called his wife and started talking about the son and saying that he needs to be reprimanded because he called the little boy gay. And he said, I don't think nothing's wrong with what my son said. My son said it was gay because it's gay. But this young boy needs to experience what it's like to be around people that are like that. If they're always in the house with you, then they don't know that there are people out here in the world that are like that. And they need to know how to handle themselves. You teach them the way that they should go. You train them and show them the way that they go. And they will not depart from it. So obviously he taught his son the proper way because he said, listen, I don't feel like anything's wrong with what my son said. So according to what he believes, he taught his son correctly. Because when he got in that position, he knew what to say. Okay? That's their life. But do you understand you can't shield your children from everything? You can't shield anybody from everything. You cannot shield people in your life from what needs to happen. Our souls need to go through certain experiences. That is why we're here. We're here to experience life, both the good and the so-called bad. Okay? And it's nothing wrong with experiencing things that are negative. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle it? What choices are you going to make? This is what Spirit is always observing when it comes to our lives. And even greater than that. So we go from religion that teaches you to be afraid of dark forces and all of the negative in life. Then you go to spirituality. And when you get to spirituality, you become this warrior, okay? You want to be this warrior in the spirit. But when you go to a certain consciousness, which is the Christ consciousness, is the highest vibration, which is enlightenment. When you get to that level of enlightenment, you understand the duality of life very well, all right? You're not living in fear of the negative, and you're not so bright in the light that you don't understand that, listen, both are necessary at this time. And that's just the way that it is. And you understand that all you're doing is making choices. That's it. Your whole life. Your life, your children's life, everybody's life in your family, everybody you know. Everybody is just making choices. So you have an experience, then you make an adjustment. You observe and you make an adjustment. So I always say, life is all about observations and adjustments. So you have to have something to observe. If you're a scientist, you don't go into the lab and just stare at the wall. No, you get the petri dish and you start looking at the different microorganisms and how they move and their patterns. And okay, since this does this, then this is what we're going to do. This is what we do. You hear people call themselves alchemists? Well, that's what we are. When it comes to negative and positive experiences, we're learning how to balance between the both, okay? And it's okay. But the thing is, when it comes to relationships, most people have had some really tough relationships. And it's not just romantic. People in your life, your family members and your friends and all that stuff. We've gone through a lot when it comes to relationships. And we're supposed to, because how then can we make the observation and adjustments, right? So once you observe how a person is, how they make you feel, what they make you do, all right? Because every relationship is a soulmate. These are your soulmates that incarnated with you so that you can experience them, they can experience you, and you both affect each other's lives. You can have a soulmate that's in your life for 1 hour, 10 minutes, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, however long you knew me. I'm a soulmate of yours too. If you hear my voice, I'm your soulmate. You're supposed to meet me at the time that you met me, and I'm supposed to do what I'm doing in your life. All right? You have many of them. Every single person in your life. Your children are your soulmates. Your soul is here to have an experience. You are here as a soul to evolve. So there are other souls, S-O, there are other souls that are a part of your experience. And these are your soul mates because you all incarnate at the same time. That's why they're called soulmates. Your soul came here, their soul came here, and we're all here at the same time. You cross paths with each other and then you mate. All right? However long that is. There are some soulmates that will be your best friend. They'll be like your teacher that you had in elementary school. They used to give you the little extra snack on the side. The one who used to rub your back and help you with your problems. And they smell so sweet like perfume, you know. And then you'll have those soulmates that'll smack you upside your head and call you stupid, you little piece of trash. But guess what? They're both necessary. You need both. And you will have both. But you're going to observe them. And then once you observe them, you're going to make an adjustment based off of how they make you feel. The way that they make you feel is going to determine how long they stay in your experience. We are upset with soulmates because soulmates are doing what they are incarnated to do. They were a part of your movie script from the beginning. They were going to come into your life and use you, abuse you, mistreat you, hurt you, and do all these other things to you. That's a part of your experience. But based off of your experience with them, how are you going to navigate through the experience? This is the adjustment. So if someone was hurting you or is currently hurting you, or someone you don't like the way they make you feel, you don't like it. You have made the observation. That's step one. So then what's step two? You make the adjustment. Absolutely. And making the adjustment, that is on you. All right? It's not on them. It's on you. So what we do in our experience, remember, this is our story. This is our experience. We get upset with the soulmate because we say, you should have been different. You should not have been my mother and not being there in my life. And I needed you to be there and you were not there. You should not have been my parent and then I have to take care of you. You should not be a father that left me. You should not have been this way. But guess what? That is exactly how they were written into the script of your show, your movie, your experience. So, are you going to have a happy ending? Is your movie going to turn out to be one that people remembers forever because of what you did with all of the challenges? Or are you going to be another soul that is forgotten as soon as you go into the ground? Because there are millions of souls that are forgotten and nobody thinks about them after 1 year of the funeral. Then there are those that people think about all the time. They think about them all the time, but they don't think about their impact on society or the impact in life. They just want them because of their emotional connection to them, but they're not thinking about them on a soul level. So when it comes to your soul and your experience and you experiencing relationships with men and people in your life, know that they are only a part of your experience. And if you do not let them go when it's time, because I'll tell you something else, every soulmate has an expiration date. There's no person that you meet that you will be with forever. We have to get out of this fairy tale that we live in that says that we're going to be happily married forever and everything is going to be peaches and cream. That's not true. How many people do you know that live that reality? It's not true. Will you be married? You can be. Does it mean you have to be? No. But if you are, one of you you're going to go. Either the husband's going to go or the wife's going to go or whichever way. Somebody's got to go eventually. Even if you're together 30 years, 40 years, 60 years, however long. Your mother, she is going to exit your experience. Your children, they're going to exit your experience. And this is why I always say, I only experience what has been created. And that includes people. But I don't own anything. Nothing belongs to me. It's the same for you, and it's the same for everybody. Nothing belongs to you. And every single experience is just that. It's just an experience. And one thing I'll tell you is this. The good news is this. There's never an experience that lasts forever. There's cycles. So if you went through some type of abusive relationship, even if it was terrible, are you going through that right now? No. You want to know why? Because every experience ends when the cycle is over. So if you think about this like a chapter book, when that chapter is complete, say it's chapter 37 when this happened to you, or even if it's chapter 15 when you have this horrific experience, guess what? You have to go to chapter 16, which means that chapter 15 must end. So that cycle will end. If you're in a very tough situation right now, I promise you, as sure as my name is Ken, baby, that's going to end. And if you are in the highlight of your life, you're so happy, you're gloating, you're so happy, and everything is going great, I guarantee you that life is going to life. And there is going to be something that is going to put you back into another cycle. We have to be realistic about what we expect when it comes to life. Life is cycles. It's the cycles of life. And we learn to navigate when we learn to let go. That's how you navigate the experiences. You release the control. You release the need to be attached to things in this reality, and you understand that this is a temporary experience. People say this over again, yada, yada, yada. I'm a spirit having a human experience. I am not a human. I'm a spirit. They say that with their mouth. But then when life is lifing, then they forget that they are not a human body. They are a spirit, a light that is possessing a body. Your spirit, your soul has entered into a physical body so that you can have an experience in the form of you. However you look, however you are, it is meant for you to have the experience in this way. This is why I'm not an advocate for surgery, because you are supposed to experience life in the way that you experience, in the way that you incarnate it. But if you go and get surgery, then basically what you're doing is you're altering the experience. And you're not supposed to alter the experience. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to navigate through the experience. Meaning that you don't change it. This is what we want people to do. People want to change things. Even when it comes to the way we pray. People want to pray so that things will change. Stop praying for things to change. They're not supposed to change. We're praying and ask for God to stop this, please do this, please do that, please stop this, please do that. Listen, this is not a genie in a bottle. Spirit is not a genie in a bottle. You're going to have the experience. It's inevitable. What you pray for is the ability to endure it. The ability to withstand it. That is one of the fruits of the Spirit. We learned about that in freaking Sunday school. The fruits of the Spirit. One of them is long suffering. But for some reason in this reality, we don't believe that we should suffer. We feel like life should be perfect. But that's only because on a soul level, we know that there is a reality where perfection exists. And there is a reality where perfection exists. That's why you meditate. When you meditate, you release your physical body. You connect to the aspect of you that is in that reality, which is your higher self. And none of these things exist in your physical reality. That's what meditation is about. It's about learning to release control. You learn to release control. But people are even going into meditation and trying to control the meditation. They're going to put themselves on a ship in the middle of the ocean. They're going, okay, listen, there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? Because there's a time and place, especially when it comes to releasing and cord cutting and doing different things like this. You can do that in the spirit through meditation. So there's nothing wrong with that. But an ascended master, I believe that an ascended master is someone who knows how to instantly disconnect from this reality, from the consciousness of this reality, and connect to the highest version of spirit, which is where there is only wholeness and oneness. This is why you hear yogis and Buddhists, they chant the Om. They chant the Om, the oneness, the all, wholeness. Because they connect with spirit. They're connecting with spirit. They're connecting with that wholeness, the consciousness that is always in full control of everything. That is responsible for making your heart beat. That is responsible for making the grass grow. That is responsible for making the winds blow. That is responsible for all of the water that's on the planet. responsible for all the land and the people and the things and the animals and all the plant kingdom that you in your physical little body could never, ever do. You could never do it. It has to be done by something that's greater than us. And when we learn to surrender into this flow, then we know that just as you don't have to make your heart beat, you don't have to take care of yourself either. But you want to know why we feel like we do? Because a lot of us were born into poverty. A lot of us were born into circumstances that made us very fearful of life. A lot of us went through a lot of abuse when we were children, neglect, abandonment, different things that we went through. So we went through a lot of things as children, so it scared us. And a lot of us as adults are still holding on to that fear. So we believe that, oh no, if I want my life to be good, I have to make it good. There is a time when you do have to work, especially when you're disconnected from spirit. You have to work. You have to labor. Yes, you do. But then there comes a point in time in your experience where you have done the work and you can now release and you can be one with spirit, especially as you decide to disconnect from the ways of this world, okay? The way that people do things, society norms. And you learn to connect to spirit, which is totally opposite of what we know and what we see. And you relax in the flow of letting go. And then you can really live life because you don't have an attachment to anything. Nothing, no one, no place, no thing. And you can just exist because you're a human being. That's your experience, right? Your experience is to be a human being. But I think the greatest challenge is just being. You got the human part down, packed. And a lot of people use the human part or human aspect of who they are and say, well, I'm just a human. I'm supposed to do these type of things. I'm human. But I'm here to let you know that once you start on this spiritual path and you start to connect with spirit, then you will recognize that you are greater than just your human body. And you're not just a human. You're multi-sensory. You're a very powerful force of light. A force of light. Think about that. Think about going into a dark room. Very dark. All right? You open up the door, you go into this dark space. When you turn on that light, the darkness disappears. And guess what? Every single time a person comes to this planet, then we shed light here. We bring light with us. And this is the reason why there are so many entities that want to possess your mind and your body and your soul because of your light. It's energy. It's energy. So wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you're putting your energy towards whatever it is that you're doing every single day, then you're giving your life force energy to whatever that entity is. The entity could be a job. The entity could be TikTok. The entity could be whatever, okay? Anything outside of you, you're giving your energy to that. When you have a spiritual practice of connecting with spirit, then you are only receiving your energy from source and shining that energy into the world. You learn how to preserve your energy. You learn different ways and spirit guides you on how to protect yourself. And then you become a force of light that is not filled with drainage, okay? Filled with all of these holes and different portal leakages that are coming from your chakras. A lot of people have a lot of leakages when it comes from their chakras. So then the light, just imagine the light, okay? But you have all of these different holes where the energy is seeping out. This is why it's important for us to do our meditation and disconnect. People are not going to understand why you're not around anymore. People are not going to understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. But the things that you are doing is helping you to have a bigger and greater and stronger light. So that whatever it is that you were created to do, now you can do it with ease. And you don't have to work hard at this level of awareness. You don't. You don't. If you have to work hard right now, if life seems hard for you, that's just a part of the experience that you're at. We all have to come through there. Everybody has to go through the dark to get to the light. So you have to go through that experience of being in the dark or being in the trenches or being in an uncomfortable body or, going through all these different emotions. But trust me, the more you follow spirit, it will be easier and easier and easier for you. But the truth is, we all know what to do. We just don't want to do it because we feel like we're being deprived from things. We can't live like everybody else. There was a lady I was watching and she was saying something about she went out with her friends, like spiritual friends, and they all had all these disciplines where they couldn't eat certain food and they couldn't do this and that. And she was a Christian woman, so she said, well, if I have to deprive myself from everything that I want and I have to deprive myself from all the food that I want and whatever I want to do, then what am I living for? She feels like the reason why she's here is just to have everything her way and to experience life and have a good time. That's her perception of reality. That's her level of awareness. As you evolve spiritually, then you understand that, listen, God wants your sacrifice, not your offerings, your life, your whole life, everything. And it doesn't have to happen all at once, like everything just gets stripped out of your life. It doesn't happen like that because the spirit is very gentle and very gracious and gives you the freedom to choose this lifestyle. But the truth is, either you're going to be lost in the dark in the world, or you're going to sacrifice and you're going to be in the light. But either way it goes, you're still going to be going through some type of discipline. You're going to be going through something when it comes to how you feel emotionally. It's not going to be comfortable. Either way. But there's an uncomfortable feeling of being in the darkness and being lost and confused. And then there's an uncomfortable feeling of being disciplined and being in light. It's totally different. It's way different. And in the light, when you connect to spirit, you know that you're connected to spirit because you have peace. That's a spirit. That comes from being spiritually connected. Peace comes from being spiritually connected. It doesn't come from anything else. It doesn't come from your man. It doesn't come from your woman. It doesn't come from your sister, your brother, your cousin, your friend, or nobody in your life. We're trying to find peace in things, but peace is a spiritual, let's just say that peace is the reward that you get for the work that you do. Boom. Come on, spirit. Okay? So even though you're going to be sacrificing it, even though you're going to be uncomfortable, you will have peace that will surpass understanding because other people will think that you should be uncomfortable, but really you are not uncomfortable because the emotion that you would feel of being uncomfortable from the sacrifice that you're making, you don't even feel it. You don't even feel it. Like there's things that I've had to release in my life that are very challenging, and they would be more challenging if I felt them in a certain way. But since spirit protects my energy, protects me, then I don't even feel them in the way that I would have felt them if I was just living everyday life however I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? It's good. Okay? It's good. The sacrifice is worth it. It's worth it. See, when we are on this side of the spectrum in the light, we sacrifice our life. We sacrifice the things that we want in order to connect to spirit so that we can be a vessel of light for others. On the opposite end of the spectrum in darkness, they sacrifice others' life so that they can benefit and they can amplify their own self, their own ego. See what I'm saying? It's different. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just how it is. All right? It's just the way that it is. And that's the way it is for now. There's a great purging going on. There's a lot going on with the weather. There's a lot going on with the world. There's a lot going on with, of course, the wars and different things that's going on. Listen, we're living in the last days. And I know that everybody has heard this before, but this generation knows it very, very well. On a soul level, we know that something is going to happen. Something is already emerging. Something is about to change the world forever. The truth is, will you be prepared? That's the question. The truth is, Spirit already told us that this was going to happen. We already know. We didn't come here to be comfortable. We came here to sacrifice our lives for the greater good of all. We were promised that we will inherit the earth and our children's children's children. We have these promises. But we also were told that we will be tormented and tortured and given up to the authorities because of the things that we do for righteousness' sake. But isn't that what people have done that come before us? They sacrifice their comfortability so that they can make life better for us. But in this generation, we don't want to sacrifice nothing. We want everything to be comfortable. And guess what? We're given all the comfortability that we want. We got our garages, we got our houses, our cars, we got all this money in the bank, we got everything that we want. Do you think that that's by a coincidence? No. It's like, be comfortable and be quiet, because you don't want to lose what you have. So be quiet. And that's what this generation is doing. They're happy with what they have, and they don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to make their children uncomfortable. They want everything to be peachy keen because they just want to live a peaceful life. Not yet, honey. There's things that must go down in the spirit and in the physical before you get comfortable. But when we get comfortable, we're going to be one with spirit. Until then, you better put your vest on, put your helmet on, put your breastplate on, and you better get uncomfortable, honey. Or sir, if you're listening, whoever you are. We're here to be uncomfortable. And we are the ones that were created for this time. We're created for this time because we don't mind sacrificing it all. Because we already know that in the end, we're going to rise and we're going to have all power in our hands regardless. And we can't be stopped in this vibration. But that's the reason why we let go of what no longer serves us. Because when we do that, then we elevate. You can't elevate when you got things holding you down. You can't elevate when you got heartbreak holding you down, disappointment holding you down, holding on to what you don't have, all these things holding you down. You cannot elevate in that energy. We must be free-hearted. We must be, or free-spirited, I should say. And we must be willing to be childlike and coachable by spirit. And hear what we don't hear. And see what we don't see. And sacrifice the things that would make us comfortable or that we enjoy so that we can be better. That's what makes us better. If you want to go to the gym and you want that nice body, guess what? You're going to have to work for that. In the spirit, why do people think that they can go to other entities and energies to get something that they don't even deserve? They're going to find out why that's not a good idea. This year, many spiritualists out there, they're going to other forces to get what they want. They're going to find out why that's not a good idea. Because we all got to do our work. And it's not saying that, you shouldn't do what you're doing because, like I said, most people are in the dark. Even people that go to church every day, they're calling on this name of this entity that will remain nameless on this channel. But they're calling on this force to help them. But that force is not helping them. It's pacifying them and giving them comfortability. So they believe that they're blessed, okay? Because they're getting things. But the God that I know, the spirit of all, is not going to give you everything. Just like a good parent. It's not going to give you everything that you want. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to be scourged. What the Bible says, chastised. You're going to have to show yourself approved. And I know that it says that you should study. And there's nothing wrong with people who want to study and live by the law. But the law is going to be written in your heart. Spirit is going to write on your mind, in your mind, and tell you what you need to do. It does no good for you to read a book and get the information from the book and talk about the way that things used to be and talk about these laws and all these different type of things and these rules and regulations when Spirit is speaking directly to you and telling you what you need to do and you're not doing it. That is how Spirit speaks to you. You know what you need to stop doing. You know what you need to start doing. But people don't want to do those things. What they want to do is say, "Oh, look, I performed well. I went to church. I went to do this. I gave to this person. I did this and that." And they want to beat around the bush. But listen, Spirit is no fool. And God will not be mocked. Just like it says in the Bible, God will not be mocked. You're not going to play a game with the overall consciousness of everything that was created. Come on now. You can't play these games. I'm doing good. Look, I'm not hurting anybody. Meanwhile, you hurt yourself every day. Every day that you decide to allow a person to mistreat you and misuse you and use your body and having sex with this person that's not even committed to marrying you, that's not even a part of your life purpose. They're not helping you at all. You're just with them for whatever vanity reason while you're with them, whatever emotional connection you have to them. But they're blocking you from source. You're on a job or in a business or working yourself to the bone every single day. And then you want to go to church on Sunday and say, "Look, God, I went to church this Sunday." But Spirit, the relationship with Spirit is every day, baby. You don't get no day off. You don't get no one day just to go to church or pray a certain amount of times a day and say, "Look, I'm spiritually connected because I did this. Look, that's the way I'm supposed to do it, right?" No. Mm-mm. Because Spirit wants your all, which means that there's no blockages. There's nothing that comes before the Creator. There's nothing that comes before Source. No relationship, no personal place, nothing, not even you and what you want and your desire. You relinquish everything that you want and your desires and you exchange them for what the Creator wants for you. What Spirit feels like is best for you. And it's easy to let go when you live that life. Because you know that everything that you let go of, it's not just because, you're sacrificing the things that you want and these things. No, you're letting it go because you know that number one, you're being obedient to Spirit. Number two, it's for the greater good of you. It's going to help you. Spirit is not going to tell you to release something that's going to hurt you. And even if it hurts you, it won't harm you. It's going to make you better. So just know that. And there's a pain to stay and there's a pain to walk away. You just have to decide which one you want to feel. Because the pain to stay doesn't stop. And it won't get easier. Every year it'll be the same thing. It'll be the same thing and it will not change. Whatever you're guided to do, it will not change. And Spirit's not going to push you. You're not going to get yelled at. You're not going to get screamed at. None of that. It's just the things that you want to work out. It ain't going to work out right. The way that you want to feel, the peace you want to feel, you ain't going to feel it. Because you're disconnected. And this is the reason why Spirit has guided me to create the spiritual alignment class. This was Spirit. This ain't me. I don't do nothing. You think I wanted to just do a spiritual alignment class and do this is not what I want to do. Every day I wake up, this is something that I say every single day. Actually, it's embedded in me, but I started off saying this, and Spirit gave me this. That every day I spend time with my Spirit Creator, the Spirit of all. Every day. After our divine connection, in the morning after I meditate, I do what I'm guided to do, I share what I'm guided to share, and I create what I'm guided to create. I do nothing from my own will, hand, or desire. I desire what the Spirit desires for me. I like what the Spirit likes, and I am one with all that the Spirit has created. All life. I do not own anything, but I experience everything. I am in the garden of Mother Earth, the womb of Mother Earth, Mother Universe. And I am being nurtured, I am being developed, and I am being protected. Just like in a womb. My only responsibility is to stay in the present and to enjoy all that Spirit has created. I enjoy that I could be in the presence of the one who loves me the most, the all. I sing praises all day long. I give thanks all day long, but not for what has been done. No, that's religious, okay? Religion teaches us to be thankful for the blessings. When you are consciously, spiritually aware of Spirit's presence, then you know that you are thankful for the blessing of Spirit. Spirit is the only blessing. The material things are not a blessing. They are a distraction. They are a distraction for people who believe that they're blessings. But people who receive much from Spirit, they understand that what they receive is just so that they can do what they're guided to do. Nothing is being done for you. It's being done through you. So that you can either be an example or so that you can help somebody else with the resources that you are provided with. And only Spirit is the blessing that allows. So each day I wake up and I'm in gratitude and I'm thankful to be in alignment with this flow, the universal flow of all. And I'm thankful and grateful for the mercy of Spirit that redeemed me, that guides me, that protects me, that restored me, that saved me from myself and from others. And my only responsibility is to be the light. That's my responsibility. This is how we walk in unconditional love. This is how we exercise the Christ consciousness in the world. It's because we know that the only reason why we have a standing chance to do anything is because Spirit is nurturing us and guiding us and raising us and teaching us the consciousness, the one all consciousness of Spirit. So how dare we hold on to grudges against people who have done wrong to us, as if we have never done wrong? How dare we judge other people that are in the world living at their level of awareness when we know what it's like to live in darkness? Just because we've come out and we've been pulled out, we've been brought out and we've been put up high, it's not because we did anything great. It's because we are created to do what we do. And we were created from the beginning to do what we are going to do in this world, on this planet. But we do it with love and compassion for every single life on every single end of the spectrum, because we know what it's like to go from the bottom up to where we are now and beyond. So letting go, it seems like it's hard, but it's only hard when you're living in the experience. You have to zoom out. Yes, thanks, Spirit. Zoom out. You know, you have a camera lens, you zoom in, make it really small, and you focus in on it. And a lot of people are just focused in on things. But once you're able to zoom out, you can see the bigger picture. And you'll understand and recognize why even the worst situation that you've ever been in, the worst experience, was absolutely necessary for your growth. And it is going to grow you. It is going to help you be the person that you were created to be. But if you believe that it is meant to destroy you, it will destroy you. And we're not blaming some dark force for our destruction when we've been given the power to succeed, to overcome. Long standing is the fruit of the Spirit, but also joy and peace and all these other emotional connections to life It comes to us when we're connected spiritually. So focus on your spiritual connection. You can do that through reading books and reading Bibles and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but they should only be a reference. Because one thing I'll tell you for sure is when you're spiritually aligned, Spirit is going to speak to you in a way that you cannot hear and you cannot read or see. It's beyond the senses that you have. But that takes quiet time. That takes discipline. And it takes sacrifice. So if you're being asked to fast from things, that's spirit. If you're being called forward, you're being asked to discipline yourself. Because this world is changing very rapidly. And for every person that hears my voice, I don't want you to be at the bottom, wishing and hoping and praying that things will stop. Because they can't stop. Whatever happened, look, no Diddy, okay? They can't stop. Because whatever has to be, must be. And this old world must pass away. But when you are connected to spirit, then you know that you will not fall. And nobody connected to you will fall. You will always rise to the top. And that's what you were created to do. You will navigate through every situation, but how will you know that you can do it? Because you got plenty of practice. So whatever it is that you're going through now, it's just practice. Get ready for the grand finale, all right? And we're going to see a beautiful world. We're going to experience a world that has no suffering and no war. What they say, war no more. And we know on a soul level that this place exists. And we're going to all experience it. Those of you that are light workers out there, keep doing what you do in whatever industry you're in. And just know that you're there to change things and not to be a part of it. Once you're okay with changing the way that things are, you're okay with standing out, and you're not so happy to stand next to somebody that you know is out of alignment with spirit, you'll probably want to move away from them. That's all I'm saying. All right, cousin, I love you so much. I know this message was long. The messages are getting longer because spirit is flowing, and I'm just going to let it flow. I love y'all, I love y'all, I love y'all. Make sure y'all join the family over at the Lighthouse if you need support, if you need resources, anything that you need. If you want to connect to me more closely for spiritual guidance through your situation, through whatever it is you're going through, make sure you join us in the spiritual alignment class. If you need assistance with being consistent, discipline, whatever you need, join us in spiritual alignment class. I love you ladies so much. I love you all. I know some men out there listening too. I love you all. And I will talk to you later. Bye. Hey cousin. If you're interested in joining our powerful community of women supporting each other through our healing and transformation journey, make sure that you look for the Lighthouse ATL on all social media platforms. YouTube, TikTok, not on Instagram, but Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere else. Look for the Lighthouse ATL, okay? You do not have to do it on your own. We are done with these solo dolo missions, okay? We're going to work together. We're going to heal together. We're going to cry together. We're going to laugh together. We're going to travel together. Listen, join our level up movement, and I will see you soon. Bye.